Hi, third graders. This is Chapter 4, Lesson 4, Subtraction Across Zeros. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to use place value charts to subtract across zeros. You will show your work in algorithms, and you will check subtraction using addition. We'll be using textbook pages 111 and 113. You'll need access to iTools. This is a tool on the internet and the link is on Jupyter. You will also need a whiteboard insert and a whiteboard marker. Please print the PDF and insert it into a U file or a sheet protector to save paper. And the PDF is called Subtract and Check by Adding. You'll also need 2 pages of this. Let's do a quick review of our subtraction poem. And it says, more on top, no need to stop. That means that the 7 ones is bigger than the 4 ones. No need to stop, just subtract straight through. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. That means this number 8 is bigger than the number 3. So that 3 in the ones place is going to go to the tens place and get 10 more. Numbers the same, zeros the game. 7 minus 7. And that's going to be a 0. Let's use the iTools. So this is iTools. When you open it up, you want to make sure that you're on the base 10 blocks and that you choose the thousands mat. When it opens up, it should look like that, and you're going to click on that. Now I want to start with the number 2,000, and I want to subtract 257. And I hope you're asking, how can I subtract 257 when I have 0 hundreds, 0 tens, and 0 ones? You can see that right down there. Well, here's what I do. I'm going to take 1,000 and regroup it to the hundreds place. And this 1,000 is now 10 hundreds. So I have 1,000 and 10 hundreds. And I can move some to the tens place too. So I'm going to regroup 100, and now it's 10 tens. And now I'm going to regroup 110, and it became 10 ones. And you'll see that with all of this regrouping, I still have a quantity of 2,000. I haven't done any subtracting yet. So let's do some subtracting. In this case, I'm just going to click the erase button. I know that I want to subtract 257. So that's 7 ones I need to subtract. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I need to subtract 5 tens. 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens. And the math problem said to subtract 2 hundreds. So subtract 100, subtract 200. And I can see by counting my blocks that I have 1,000, 7 hundreds, 4 tens, and 3 ones. And that's the same as 1,743. So we've taken a look at how to subtract with base 10 blocks using iTools. Let's see what that looks like on a place value chart. So here's my place value chart, and I want to subtract the same number. And I'm going to write out 2,000, 0, 0, 0, minus 257. It's really important to line up the ones, to line up the tens, and to line up the hundreds. If I do it wrong, I'll get the wrong answer. And then I can build it using dots in the place value chart. So I need 2,000, 1,000, 2,000. And just like I did with the base 10 blocks, I'm going to regroup. I'm going to take 1 whole thousand, and I'm going to put it over here into the hundreds place. And when it becomes hundreds, it becomes 10 hundreds. And now I'm going to take one of these hundreds, and I'm going to regroup it into the tens place. And I know that that 100 becomes 10 tens. And it looks like that. I have 10 tens now. And I need something in the hundreds place because I need to subtract 7 ones. So I'm going to regroup one of these into the tens, into the ones place. Regroup it into the ones place. There it is. So that's what it looks like with chips. And we've seen how it looks like with base 10 blocks. But what does it look like in an algorithm? Well, let me draw it for you. You can see that these 2000s, one of them was moved to the hundreds, and it became a 10 in the hundreds place. So this 2 becomes 1. 2 becomes 1. The hundreds become 10 hundreds. And I can just put a 1 right there so I see a 10. And I know that one of these is going to move to the tens place. One of these moves to the tens place and becomes 10 tens. So this 10 becomes a 9. And this 0 becomes 10 tens. 10 tens. And I know that one of these tens is going to move to the ones place. So this 10 in the tens place becomes 9 tens. And I have 10 ones over here, and I'm going to go ahead and write it up there. I'm going to cross that 0 out so I know I'm not using it for anything anymore. And so this is what it looks like on a chip chart, and this is what it looks like in an algorithm. Now, you'll notice in the ones place that that 10 did not turn into a 9 because the regrouping stops in the ones place. So it stays a 10. Now I'm ready to subtract. So on the chip chart, I'm going to start crossing out. Starting in the ones place, 10 minus 7. 10 minus 7 leaves 3. 10 minus 7 leaves 3. I need to subtract 5 tens. This one's already been used, so I'm not going to cross it out and count it as if I'm subtracting it. It's already been moved over. And that leaves 4 tens. 9 tens minus 5 tens is 4 tens. Now I'm ready to subtract in the hundreds place, and I show that it's 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2. This one's moved over, so I'm not counting it. It's already gone. So I started with 9, I subtracted 2, and that leaves 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. Now, I don't want to forget this 1,000 hanging out over here. I'm not subtracting anything. I want to make sure I record that right down there. And that's what it looks like. All right, let's do one more. Now, I want you to set up this math problem. 5,000 minus 3,700. And you can open up the iTools, and you can use the iTools. I'm going to use the eraser to clear the mat. So you can use the iTools to help you do this if you want to. Please do this math problem. You're going to press pause. When you press play, the answer will be there. Okay, so my chip chart is ready. Let's take a look at what it looks like. This 5,000 became 4,000 because I moved 100 over, and there's that 100 right there. That 1,000 turned into 10 hundreds. Now I'm ready to subtract. I don't have any ones or tens to subtract, so I don't need to borrow. I don't need to regroup over into those columns. The math problem says 10 minus 7, so here's 10. I need to subtract 7. That leaves 3. 300. 1000 minus 700 equals 300. And now I have 4 minus 3. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This fifth one moved over, remember? So I need to subtract 3. And what does that look like over here? 4 minus 3 leaves 1. There's 1 left over there. I'm not done yet. I want to make sure I do my 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, it's your turn to do the next one. Please do this math problem right there. I'm going to set it up. Please press pause. Okay, so I have my place value chip chart set up, and I'm ready to do the subtraction. So in this case, I start with 8,003. And now I'm ready to subtract 5,147. I've already done my regrouping. But what does that look like? I start with 8,000 here, and I gave 1,000 to the hundreds place. So this 8 becomes 7. And this 0 becomes 10 hundreds. And 100 goes into the tens place. So the hundreds become a 900, and one of these moves over here, and now I have 10 tens. So 100 moves over, and it's 10. Now this 3 is too small to subtract a 7, so I need to borrow one more time. I need to regroup one more time. This 10 becomes a 9, and this 3 becomes a 13. And now I'm ready to subtract. So check your work. Please press pause. When you press play, you'll see the answer. Okay, I'm all done with my subtraction. So please check your work and see how you did. So this is what my final subtraction looks like. I have 13 ones, and then I subtracted 7 ones, and that leaves 6 ones. 13 minus 7 is 6. Over here, there are 9. Remember, this one moved over, so there's 9 minus 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5. And here I have 9 hundreds. Remember, that one moved over. And I need to subtract 1. I subtracted 1, and that leaves 8. 900 minus 100 leaves 8 in the hundreds place. And now I have a total of 700 here, and I subtract 5, and that leaves 200. 7 minus 5 is 2. 700 minus 500 is 2. Okay, I'd like you to move on and do problem number 3, textbook page 111. It's 6,000 minus 4,765. You can use the place value chip chart to do your math. Please press pause, and when you come back, we'll talk about what you did. Okay, I've got my chart set up. Let's see how you did. So I have my chip chart, I've got my regrouping, and I showed how the regrouping works in the algorithm. And now, check your work, make any corrections that you need to, and then do your subtraction. Please press pause. Okay, I'm all done subtracting on my chip chart, so I want you to check your work against mine to see how you did. I know that 10 minus 5 leaves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ones. 9 tens minus 6 tens leaves 3 tens. 900 minus 700 leaves 200. 5,000 minus 4,000 leaves 1,000. All right, I hope this is getting really easy for you. If it is, then you don't need to use the chip chart anymore. You could just work on the algorithm over here, okay? And you can use the iTools to help you check your work. All right, good luck.